Council Chambers. It is February 7th, 4:03 p.m. My name is Ryan Austin. I am the council-appointed person for the Planning Commission. I am filling in as chair for Mayor Blazer tonight. He will not be making it in. So, with that being said, let's do a quick roll call around the room. We can start to the far right.
I'm Carrie Edmondson, Associate Planner.
Kyle Kearns, Director of Community Development.
Lee Chow, Commission Member.
Eric Dovan, Commission Member.
Ben Goodrow, Commission Member.
Thank you. I believe we have some folks on Zoom. Forgive me, I'm in the middle of rebooting my computer. I believe I saw Susan on there. Anybody else?
We have Susan and Shane
Okay.
Burkhart via Zoom.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, item number 1, approval of the reports from the December 6, 2021 and January 3, 2022 Plan Commission meetings. What are the commission's wishes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor respond with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Item number 2, Vanderwall and Associates, Wisconsin Rapids Recovery and Redevelopment Plan Update. Kyle.
Thank you. Before I start, Shane, could you confirm your audio?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're pretty faint. Let me try to fix that quickly. Susan, can you test your audio, please?
Can you hear me?
Perfect, thank you. So this is the second of the reports that the Vanderwall consultant has provided to the Plan Commission regarding the Recovery and Redevelopment Plan. Since the last meeting, you'll see on the second page of the report, a few things have occurred. The consultant has primarily continued the collection of data and conducting of research, as well as performing some preliminary detailed mapping and looking at different assets within the paper industry and within the region. We also had a steering committee meeting last week, which included city staff, Angel Whitehead from the Chamber of Commerce, representative from the Regional Plan Commission, a county representative, and our alder here, Ryan Austin, and Carrie and myself. And that was basically to provide a similar update and discuss the future planned events, which again on page 12 of 56 of the packet, you'll see upcoming. The consultant is looking to schedule a public visioning session in March, as well as a council work session in February or March, which will be to provide an update and to obtain feedback from the general public and the elders. And I do want to make a note that council work session, I hope to include Plan Commission, so it'll be a joint meeting likely for Plan Commission members and elders at the same meeting. And we will probably be sending out an email in the next couple of weeks to see your availability. And I think it would probably be a few hours of your time if possible during that session. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have about the project.
Any questions? Hearing none, we'll move on. Item number 3, Plan 22-0044, RC Rapids East LLC, request for certified survey map approval to combine and create 4 lots south of Poplar Street between 3rd Street North and 4th Street North, parcel IDs 3405243, 3405242, 3405225, 3405226, 3405241, 3405227, 3405240, 3405228, 3405239, and 3405229. Kyle.
If it's okay, I will talk about the next 2 items on the agenda as they are adjacent to one another and they involve the same applicant. Essentially, we received 2 surveys to combine some lots and create new lots, larger lots, to ultimately construct some two-family dwellings on properties identified on the presentation and in the Plan Commission packet. The first item, or the first request includes more lots. So there are about 10 existing lots there that are currently exist that are proposed to create 4 lots, a few of them through lots and larger lots to accommodate, again, those two-family uses. And in the R2 district, two-family is a permitted use. It requires 10,000 square feet of lot frontage, square feet of land area, and 85 feet of lot frontage or street frontage, 75 feet of, 75 feet of lot width. And the lots would meet those minimum lot size requirements. We feel as though it is appropriate, as it is a permitted use, to recommend approval. The one uniqueness with the second item, not this first item, is that there is a dedication that staff is recommending to be included with the second item, again on Spring Street. So the official street map for the city identifies a dedication of 10 feet to occur for Spring Street. So we would recommend that the applicant submit an updated survey showing that dedication, and then we would recommend approving that dedication as part of the Plan Commission recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. Any questions, comments?
Brian, this is Susan. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Susan.
My question has to do with the current ownership of these parcels. Does Mr. Roosh own all of this property at the present time?
Yes, I believe he is the agent for the LLC that claims ownership.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, what are the committee's wishes?
I'll make a motion to approve Plan 22-0044 for the combine of the listed parcel IDs.
Okay, we have a motion by Davin. I'll second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to vote. All in favor, respond with aye. Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any,
Aye.
sorry. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, moving on to item number 4. Mr. Kearns kind of lumped them both into one item here. So Plan 22-0060, RC Rapids East LLC, request for certified survey map approval to combine and create 2 lots north of Spring Street between 2nd Street North and 3rd Street North, which includes the dedication of right-of-way along Spring Street. Parcel IDs 3405351, 3405223, 3405222, and 3405221. Any questions or comments for Mr. Kearns? Hearing none, what are the commission's wishes?
I'll make a motion to approve Plan 22-0060.
We have a motion and a second by Towle. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to vote. All in favor, respond with aye. Aye?
Aye. Aye.
Ayes have it. Okay, moving on. Item number 5, Plan number 220039, Marshfield Clinic Health System, Site Plan Review and Architectural Review to construct a healthcare center and other site improvements at 220 24th Street South, parcel ID 3410784. Mr. Kearns.
Thank you. I'm going to be turning it over to our Associate Planner, Carrie, who did an extensive review and can provide an update with regards to the project. Okay.
Okay, good evening, Chair Austin, members of the commission. Feedback? Okay. The next item on the agenda is the applicant is Marshfield Clinic Health System, and on this parcel is an existing healthcare clinic, is the way our zoning ordinance defines it. So this is more of a daytime kind of clinical, medical use, and they are proposing a second principal structure on the same property, which would fall under our zoning ordinance as a healthcare center, and the reason being that it's more of an overnight kind of hospital stay type medical use facility. So where medical treatment, nursing, rehabilitation, or preventative care is offered. And what they're proposing is a 10-bed licensed facility. So there is a stipulation or kind of a criteria in our zoning code that generally allows one principal building only on a lot, but there are situations where two may be permitted if the planning commission determines that such building is needed for the operation of an existing use that is allowed by right or has been approved as a conditional use. And the original clinic building was approved with conditional use permit in 2002. Just so you're aware of some of that history. So in review, this is a permitted use in the B5 zoning district. The property is located in the Woodlands Business Park. And so it's also subject to protective covenants as outlined in the Woodlands Business Center protective covenants. So there are some restrictions that are more restrictive than our zoning code, just because of the standards are, elevated for kind of a business park type of use. So in looking at dimensional standards, what they're proposing meets the dimensional standards both under our zoning code and under the protective covenants for the Woodlands Business Park. They're going to utilize existing ingress and egress. They are doing some parking lot reconstruction, kind of reconfiguration to add some additional parking and also to add some ADA-approved stalls and kind of increase the flow, I'd say, of the pedestrian access and some of the access within that parking lot. So the parking meets the criteria, meets it pretty well, actually. They're probably a little bit overparked as it stands at present. In reviewing the landscaping, we did have a little bit of, we had some requests from them in reviewing the landscaping. I might get ahead here a little bit. So here are some site photos of the top photo. I just want to, the proposed building would kind of be on the right side of that top photo with the west elevation facing us as we're seeing it. The elevations on the plans that they submitted are mismarked, just to note that. So the west elevation is kind of that long elevation and the entrance would be to the north. The bottom photos show, we're looking at the site from the other way. So we're looking from the existing parking area at the site of the proposed construction. And here's the site plan. So now we're to our elevation. So I'm gonna go one more ahead. So the landscape criteria is being met as they're showing now. We did kind of go back and forth on some of the street frontage requirements because the first set of landscape plans they submitted were not calling out the existing trees. And there are some fairly substantial existing trees that help them meet some of their landscape points criteria. And they are planning to preserve most of these trees. Where the site is now, there isn't a lot of landscaping that would be removed. However, there is a bioretention basin proposed to control stormwater runoff, and this area is substantially wooded. Go one more ahead. So the proposed bioretention area is that red dotted kind of triangular piece on the east side of the site. And most of that area at present is wooded, and there are tree retention requirements within the Woodland Park restrictive covenants. So they are planning to honor that where they can, but they're asking for a special exception because some will need to be removed to construct this. One thought, and we did not include it as a condition, we wanted the planning commission's take on this, but one thing that we could ask is that they mitigate some of that removal by planting some additional trees likely to the west of that bioretention basin because they would integrate both with the parking lot and the bioretention basin area. But as it stands now, they are showing that they will meet the points requirements for the foundation plantings, the street frontage plantings, and the parking lot plantings. And so the only question kind of in front of you then is, if you're okay granting that special exception, then if you would like any kind of mitigation in place. And in going back, I'm gonna go back to our architectural elevations. The architecture on the north entrance is nicely varied. There's a lot of different materials used. We don't have the material specified on these elevations, so we did request that. The east and west elevations are the two that could be seen as somewhat repetitive, and so we did want to see if there was any breaking up of kind of these sides, especially because the west elevation will be highly visible from State Highway 54. And we have not seen that, but we do have some colored elevations that I'll get to toward the end that provide a little more information about that. To the screen share. So so we're proposing to approve it with the conditions as stated. And then if you would want to do anything additional with regard to landscaping or the architectural, these are architectural renderings that they provided that give a little better feel, the colored elevations. This is the side that would be visible from State Highway 54. So it is broken up, especially to the north with those different entrance materials. And this is the north side. So this is the entrance. This is the east side. So this is the side that would be visible from the parking area. And this is their south side, which is their bay doors, kind of for their deliveries and trucks and things like that, which is a nice side for that to be on. Are there any questions from the commission?
Would this just be external access then for patient drop-off at the emergency room? So they'll just have an awning over that, and then
Correct.
there'll
Yep.
be multiple ambulances underneath that one awning?
Exactly. Let me go back to yes, that is the kind of that round pickup and drop off. Yep. And then there's also, for people that are parking and coming in, of course, there's the other, it's the same access to the building, but there's another kind of parking area with the pedestrian access. But yes, that is
So this is where the emergency patients will be dropped off then, in the front door?
correct.
My only concern is, you know how it is when you pull in to drop someone off at a facility that you're driving them to, and then they leave their vehicle with their hazards on and then go inside. And it was
Yeah, and just for a clarification, this is Justin Frame with JSD. The front is patient and visitor access drop-off, and the south side is the emergency vehicle transport drop-off.
Oh, okay.
okay, and that's just one door then, just under a single awning.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is Jim Lynn. I'm the Vice President of Facilities for Marshfield Clinic Health System. So I'm on the call along with Jennifer Klund, who's the principal in charge of the project for HGA Architects. And we also have Dave Olenichek, who's an operations leader with us. If you have any questions for us about the facility or the way it will be operated, we're here to answer any questions you have.
Ryan, this is Susan. May
Go
I
ahead.
ask a question?
Go ahead, Susan.
Someone on the line from Marshfield Clinic probably is the person to answer that. And what is the relationship of the two buildings going to be? Transfer from one of the clinic portion of the building to the hospital portion of the building would be an outdoor transfer. There is no corridor or indoor transfer from one side to the other that I see there. Is that correct?
That's correct. This is Jim Lynn with Marshfield Clinic. We don't normally experience that sort of situation where somebody comes in for a clinic appointment and has to be admitted to a hospital. these two facilities will be occupying, the same parcel, but they really will probably not have much interaction between them in regards to patients. They'll be seeing different patients.
Is there a care plan set up then for, as Susan has stated, that those incidents which occur, which require higher level treatment at your emergency facility, which would be across the parking lot then? Because I do know that we frequently have emergency calls at that clinic right now, of which require emergency care and transport.
Well, in order to be compliant, and Dave Olenicek can comment on this a bit more, but in order for us to be compliant, we probably would, if we did have an emergency situation and needed to transport a patient from the clinic to the hospital in an emergency, we would probably, it sounds silly, but we'd probably use an ambulance.
And Jim, this is Dave Olenicek. I'm the operations leader for this project, and that is correct that we would use an ambulance to transfer.
Across the parking lot?
Correct, just to be safe for the patient.
Could I ask another question, and that has to do with if there's a delivery of a patient by ambulance externally, patient coming directly to the hospital, can you use your pointer to indicate the traffic route that you would take through the parking lot or an entrance to that emergency drop-off point?
I'm not sure any of us have the ability to use a pointer on the slide, but I'll try to explain it. They would come in the entrance that's on the right-hand side of the image, the existing entrance, and they would travel either south through the double-loaded driveway that bisects the parking area, and then make a turn, and then come into the back of the hospital where the ambulance drop-off is. Yeah, so whoever drew the green line, that's accurate.
Thank you.
I had a question on the rooms. I see you had noted that there was 8 emergency rooms, and those would be the 8 on the bottom of the blueprints, including like the procedure and the triage room. But then the patient rooms, I think I only see 6 on the top, or is there supposed to be 8?
There are 4 of the 6 rooms are capable of having 2 patient beds in each room. So that's how it adds up to a 10-bed facility. That we made it capable of 10 beds in case we experienced an unusually high volume of patients. We don't anticipate the average daily census to be anywhere near that number, however.
Any other questions by committee? Hearing none, what are your wishes?
I would move for approval.
Go ahead, Kyle.
I do just want to note that we would still recommend the conditions, even though they've submitted updated landscaping plans and the renderings. I think keeping the conditions on there is appropriate. I know there's some existing landscaping that's shown near the bioretention basin, but it's not necessarily identified. So if they do identify that, having that condition on there allows staff to approve those changes.
Susan, does your motion include the staff recommendations?
Yes, it does.
I'll second that. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, go to vote. All in favor respond with aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Okay, moving on, item number 6, adjournment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion and a second? All in favor? Aye.
All right.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Right.